Alright, here we go. We've got the new contraption on, finally. So here we go. Not really handling the weight too good here. Yeah, look at that. Alright. Okay, so boat works. We're at it again. Let me just wander out here and get the coffee. Pan that back. Donk, donk. Yeah. Yeah. Let's bring this in. So this is chest cam apparatus. But to be honest with you, I think it's a bit of a gimmick. Right? Yeah. Because look, it's going to shake and carry on. However, I'll definitely modify it because it does make a good phone stand. But yeah, this ain't going to work. Get rid of this. I don't really see what I'm doing. Okay. So the tradie cover is back on. That's why the camera's a bit blurry. So what's the deal? I've already lost your attention most likely. Changing the hoses on the hot water exchange. It's called a cooled engine. So I'm of the impression potentially that's going either through the hole or it runs along the bottom of the hole. Right. So it works a bit like a car. So instead of a radiator, you've got copper pipes and they're running down in under the hole and come back to this one. And as it travels along the bottom, you got the coolness of the water transferring through the hole and taking away some of the heat. And then this is traveling back up into your water pump and then going boom down through the engine block. And not sure why it goes into the exhaust, but that's the exhaust there. Right. So I'm sharing this little video to say if you're doing any of this type of stuff, whether it's an old Fordson major tractor engine that's been marinized, right, and I get it, you want to save a buck, whether it's a car or a boat. As soon as you give work to someone else, you're in for hundreds and thousands of dollars already. Hundreds of dollars, thousands, just based on labour. So the average price for labour around here, this marina, and I can say probably any well-established marina in a city, it's $100 an hour, and it's okay. Looks like we just have to learn as we go. So here you got a copper pipe, and here you got a pipe out of a custom-made water housing unit. Okay, cylinder pipe. See that they welded that on. And what's got me a little puzzled is why they've come off at this angle. This pipe actually angles up and above this pipe. This is angling down. So even if you were to put a 90 degree here, it wouldn't quite match. Instead of going, hang on, which will happen down the track, because this can all come on, just bolted on to these flanges. The other thing that's got me is why it's up so high. Okay, why not vertical is the other thing. Well, when I put the filler there, still have this here, okay, and then you have probably in coming from the bottom because it's hot water, rising up and going that way, and then you have a nice cylinder just tucked in out of the way. Anyway, food for thought. So this is the thing I'm learning on these boats is take your time. It's worth the effort. It's worth the effort in the long run, because based on experience, every time I've done a shortcut or a slap-on job, so there's bush mechanic, but you can have a really good bush mechanic. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be crude. It can still be very effective. So the angle would be run a really nice 90-degree angle here, or even though it's a curve, and have it running parallel. So what we'll be doing today is utilizing some pipe that we found. It's actually pipe for it's designed for the waste, I believe, the waste on a marine toilet, but further inspection, it's pressure rated. Okay, and you can see here, you know what this is? Guess what this is? This is fire hydrant hose. This is fire hydrant hose. Stood the test of time. Also, this is radiator hose or something. But this, folks, right? This is fire hydrant hose. So, based on that, if it can handle pressure, it can handle this. It can handle this application. So that's good. 40 mil scored. We got a win today. Just a little something for you. Like, think about your application. Like, this is what I'm saying to myself. Not that I'm telling you what to do. So here's this thing, eh? It looks like I'm all proper, but it's no. But what will be good is see this plate. I'll keep this plate and I'll screw it down onto something, and now I've got an extra phone holder. So that's that. Where's the camera here? Oh, turn it around. Can we turn it around? We're probably upside down, Miss Jane. Yeah. Geez, that's tricky. See. So we'll look at this little dot here. I'm giving you some eye contact, which is good, isn't it? I notice that when people do videos, they look at themselves instead of looking at that little dot. So that's what we're up to. This is what I'm reminding myself. Okay, here comes the Captain Kane philosophy. A bit of iron wake, maritime. It's worth the effort. Instead of I could not be fruitcaked. Swap the language and say, you know what? It's worth the effort for me to redo that down the track, simply because, well, one, better water flow. The water doesn't have to go this way, that way, this way, that way. It has a more direct flow. So the better the flow, the better the cooling. Just going on intuitiveness. I'm not a qualified mechanic, carpentry, I'm learning as I go. I'm in my 49th winter as of now, and I did a little video as, yeah, don't waste your winters wanting, fellas. Just learn as you go. You're going to get better. You have to get better. It's drip by drip, right? chip away, chip away. Like you could cut a tree down with a blunt spoon. Laborious, would take you a long time, but it's possible. So that's the little bit of philosophy there. So that's what we're up to today. I had a good chinwag with my buddy who's a real boatman, real boathead. And since then, I'm like, okay, we'll do a recap of the engine. Maybe I can put that there, put that there. Focus. Get up out here to get this thing. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with something like this, to be honest with you. I'm going to hang myself. But this stand, this holder is definitely, yeah, we could put that into play somehow. So where was we? We're on the engine. I had a chinwag with my boat buddy. And look, the engine goes, right? The engine goes. Somewhere along the line, we're losing oil. The amount of time it's going to take to lift this engine up, and it's getting frustrating. I'll be honest with you. It's getting tedious. It's getting really frustrated. And then I've just had 2 days of just literally lying and thinking. Like, let's just reset. Let's do a full-on reset here. The engine goes. What is the main issue? Potentially we're losing oil. Don't know where. How do we do that? We've got to lift the engine up. Right. We've got to lift the engine up. Stop there. Next. What if we do this? Let's fix that radiator hose up. Let's put a new one on. Right. You beauty. Let's just go get some cheap diesel oil. Gulf Western are doing 20 litres for 150 bucks, I think, up at Super Cheap. Right, sold. Bang. Let's go get that. Let's fill up the oil. Let's crank this old boy over. Right. And we've got 2 days of really nice, calm weather. Now, in those 2 days of really nice, calm weather, here's what we can potentially do. We just putt around the bay here and iron things out, get the steering right, make sure our instruments are up here, are working. Right. And then I feel it'll be a simple case of, okay, steering is working relevantly well. We've got propulsion. We can go forward, we can go back. Let's say we're losing oil. And the good thing about the boat, being on a boat engine, is that there's no clutch pressure. There's no pressure in gears. And on a real calm day, there's really no resistance. Okay? So there's not going to be that much stress on the engine. Just the oil pressure from the engine itself. Right. After that, it will be okay. We are at a manageable oil loss rate. Or I'm losing oil at a manageable rate, meaning, let's say, okay, I've got an hour or 2 hours. Bang, pull over, shut the engine off, let him have a rest, fill up with oil, boom, crank, next. That will be very handy if that is the scenario coming moving forward, and then we can go because there's a really beautiful high pressure system coming right over Tassie, and it's one of those things that this will be a really good window to just get on with it, get down the Derwent, and be it that the winds are going to start swinging around and coming in from the east or the northeast. I think they'll probably start coming in from the east, northeast, southeast even. That I can start tucking up on the eastern side of the bank, which will be good. We get down to, I think it's called Howrah, Ralph's Bay. Right, Ralph's Bay, and then it's either go down around Ralph's Bay and head out to Slope and Main, and that's going to be a one hell of a run. Right, it's going to be one hell of a run. I don't really want to be stopping anywhere going across that. That's where the swells come up through there. So that'll be a big adventure. Like this is anyone else, it'd be like, but this is all new territory for me. I've got to do it. It's just part of it. It's part of all of this, and it's worth the effort. It's absolutely worth the effort. It's all about stories, isn't it? All our adventures and experiences. These are the pages in the story of our life. And you could look at each one of those pages, that's a memory, right? Or a sentence could be a memory. So I was thinking, what type of book do I want to be? That someone comes across this YouTube channel and it's like that. Because the good thing about these videos will forever be, right? Will they not? They will forever be. Unless somewhere down the line YouTube has a clause that a channel that is inactive for a certain period of time, they'll shut it down. Maybe. Who knows? Right. So that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at. So yeah, come back to this old boat. So yeah, so that's the other thing. Just have him resting on something instead of resting on the pot. I don't know why they didn't do that either. But you're just learning, eh? Learning as I go from my own mistakes and others' mistakes. You can see, oh, okay. That's definitely going to be better if that route's this way. Right. I did think, what if I put a corner there and a corner? No, it's just too. I don't think you want the water doing that. You want the water flowing really well. Okay, but we're doing good. Look, we've got coolant in there. You'll be okay. We've got demineralized water. We just got to get the oil in. We've still got a bit of. We've got a bit of oil. Our poor boy, he's so gunky, eh? It's just one of those things that the way that this is all being put together, like I said in another video, is it's all designed to go like into a shipyard. Oh, jeez, Louise. Right tuck, man. Right tuck. Right. Yeah, it's all designed to be in a shipyard. Look, we've got the lift. Right. I'm looking at a little welder on the weekend. And then I was looking at this here. I'm like, rightio. Right. You can weld a plate, bolt it, and have a lifting hook there. Okay. And then I was looking at where the exhaust is bolted on and going, oh, I wonder if I could bolt a plate there, right, with a lifting hook. Maybe not. Someone might say, no, we can do that, mate. Okay. Right, the oil filter is down in there. There's just no way to get any real access to this engine. Like you can and you can't. It's a tricky one, right? It is a real tricky one. It's a real tricky one. Okay. Oh, that's the other plate here. Right. So you got that there. Okay. Unfortunately, see, these two big brackets are on the one side of the engine. Okay. I tell you, fellas, it's just really tricky. It's really tricky. Like down the track, this whole bit here will need to be redesigned. So this here will actually become a slide out. This whole panel will slide out because it's only here really to hold the panels and potentially for sound insulation is what I'm looking at. So I was like, hang on, if that's the case, we're about to cut this panel and just have this wood slide in vertically. Right, it'll sit down in there. I'll still be able to have, but this is actually I'm not gonna have a floorboard here. This is actually gonna be a walkway and the stairs are gonna be there. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Instead of behind me. Because that is right on that. See that? That's there. It's just all these little things. Yeah. It's a bit of a classic that'll do without the improvement. It was literally, that'll do. Instead of, okay, that will do for now. Reminding the self that that'll do for now. That's not my final result. Right? And then the same will side with this here. Right? Because it's a navigation helm. There. That's fine. And then this same here. This piece will actually come out. And then we go over here. This is the live well. So this is actually an independent structure that was once full of water, and this is where they put the lobsters in here, or crayfish, whatever you want to call it. Right. And then you've got this rib there. I think it's called a rib. Goes all the way across. So I'll be able to actually get rid of this and have a floor there And one thought is to convert this live well, bring this wall back to here, and have this as wet area, so wet head, or whatever you want to call it. So that would actually be a shower cubicle, and then this wall will actually have a back door on it. It'll go to the floor and up, and I'll be able to open that door back into the shower cubicle, right? And then that gives me full standing access room to here. Okay. And then this lift will become a permanent feature. This structure will become a permanent feature, and I'll have it. Obviously, that'll be stowed away when we're like on the move, and then I'll be able to hoist this engine up and have standing access. So if you have an old wooden boat like this one, here's some ideas for you. Or even if you have a little sailing boat, because on your little sailing boat your engine's tucked in underneath your cockpit. So you might think, hang on, we could build something like this. You can run your Dodger off that, you could run your Bimini off that. You actually have a permanent structure. It's not going to interfere too much with sailing visibility. You have yourself a nice little engine hoist. And then where you have your companionway, you could have it set up that those stairs, like I'm saying here, are an actual vertical feature that potentially bolts into the hole, right? And that'll keep you structural integrity. And then when you want to check your engine, you've got your gantry, built-in gantry, which would also help with hole structural integrity, right? Because it's bolted into the hole. Then instead of just lifting the stairs out of the way, you lift that whole compartment, boom. Crank your hoist up your engine, and then you have standing access room to your engine. Way to go. So thanks for tuning in. Be good, be great, be brilliant. Find your brilliance. However it is. Get off all these things that just don't serve you. I can honestly say that and give out that recommendation because that is what I have done. I've done more of myself in a way in this year than any other year that I've just floated along. Off the tobacco, off the drugs, off the prescriptions, off the alcohol, right? There's other things I'm working. It's a little bit personal. It's more men's talk. But I have noticed when I'm focused on me and getting things done, I'm winning. I am winning, even if it's a little win, like today. That pipe, went and had a look at that other pipe, measured it, and went, oh, you beauty, it's 40 mil. Read the thing, oh, high pressure, oh, fruitcake, you're beauty. Raisin toast, we're winning. All right, that's another thing. Language. We lean so much on, it's just being an Aussie, or it's just the way it is, or, come on, mate, don't be up Nancy. Don't be such a barbarian. Don't be such like a brute. These are all things I'd say are very handy traits to tap into, a bit like the what's that bean? There's that anime series called Dragon Balls, and they take a bean. It's a bit like that. Yeah, I can bring out my inner brute if I want to. Don't need to. I'd rather be refined. So, food for thought. Anyway, remember, do what you can with what you've got to lead you towards where you'd rather be.